Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 8:08 a.m. 8:06, corrected. I don't have an agenda,
Yeah, you do.
but we do.
Oh, yeah, your agenda.
We have
Jay,
the,
that's your agenda.
we have the basic agenda.
That's your basic agenda.
So I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Approval of the minutes. We don't have any today. So I'm going to go right to administration.
What about the minutes from last week?
We approved, those got approved on Monday. We approved 7,
8 and 7:15.
7, 8, and 7:15 on Monday, at Monday's meeting.
Before I, must have been before I got
Yeah,
there.
before the
Yes,
interviews,
Correct.
right?
Yep. We went into public.
Yep.
And so they posted on the website.
So we'll jump right to Kelly Robitel, DPW Supervisor, for the DPW report. What you got, Kelly?
I got the quote for the speed bumps to match the ones we have, and this comes from the same company. Donna was nice enough to make the phone call. The total is $1,439.68. That's for two sets, two 10-foot to cover the whole road. And that matches the ones we had prior to that, while we went to these new ones, the ones prior to that never held. They were always shifting, they were always moving, so these are a much better speed bump.
What was that number again? 14?
439.
3968. That's from Barco Products.
Now, if I understand it correctly, the EPA offered to purchase these?
They did.
They did.
The next meeting is the 31st.
Okay.
So that was one of my
We can
agenda
give you that
items today, was
information.
to ask for that quote.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll
Donna
take
can
that.
make you.
Oh, I can send you out a copy of it if you
So
like
can we
that.
go ahead and
No.
order them, or have you got approval? That's the
I'm not
question.
sure what the status is, because I'm new
Okay.
in the organization, so I'd like to present it on the 31st and get confirmation
Okay.
that it's a go.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and put the other ones out.
Yeah.
Just because we're past due, so if you get approval, then we'll go, because I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to come in.
It looked like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna just put them out.
So you're not going to have them the Labor Day close to, anyways, sounds like.
That's,
If he's meeting the 31st, we have our next meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
Labor Day, we're looking to pull them out, so.
So we don't need to approve it. If
No.
EPOA wants to pay for it, we've already, at last year's meeting, approved them doing that on behalf of the district. So we don't have to wait for our meeting.
Right.
So if they get approval, we can go ahead and order them.
Okay, I'll send that out when I get back to the
And
office.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Right after
Okay.
the meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Doug.
What else we got, Kelly?
And Kelly and Donna.
We cleaned the culvert on 3 Bristol stock that we talked about last week. It was loaded with gravel and dirt and all kinds of stuff. The bottom of the culvert, like we talked about, is missing asphalt. It was cut out when the water service to that house was put in. If that's correct, which I believe it is, then it shouldn't be our responsibility to replace the asphalt. It should be the contractor that cut it out. We cleaned it, we flushed it, we did everything we could to it, but it's a dirt bottom and it's just gonna keep eroding. So before I go spending the money and the time to patch that, it's not an easy patch, but you can do it by hand. You gotta get in there and lay it by hand and tamp it, and it's just not. I'd rather have this go on the punch list for the contractor that did the water project, because from what I believe, he cut that to put that curb stop in.
This is 3 Bristol stock?
Yes. And there's also the culvert down below that was replaced that had asphalt, and that was cut also.
What number was that?
It's not a number, it's the intersection of Aspen and Bristol stock. It's a 24-inch culvert, I believe.
Aspen and when?
Aspen and Bristol stock.
Needs additional paving, right?
Right.
Yes, so we have a meeting today with the contractor up on site at number 9 Rhinark. I'd rather get the pavement done sooner than later because of pending thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So if the board agrees, I can bring that up at today's meeting at 1 p.m. It was like 1 a.m. At 1 p.m.
So you're gonna make a motion
I'll make a motion that I address
to discuss culvert paving with Dawson's, with contractor.
Yeah. Do I have a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
So, here's the problem. All these punch list items, we should get one list of punch list items together.
There is.
There is.
There is.
Well,
From last
You're
fall.
adding more right now.
We're adding it to the existing list.
Well, you didn't hear what I said.
Go ahead.
I said you should get one list, present it to the contractor, and tell him this needs to be executed, and then you check, sign off on them as he goes through them, and that gets them done. You keep on adding week-to-week items, he's never gonna get done, and he's gonna get really pissy at you.
Okay, well, this was something that was unknown until last week, so we weren't able to include it. It wasn't available for discussion until Kelly got out there and cleaned out that culvert and realized that there was some missing asphalt under there.
Yeah, he still has quite a bit of work to do up at the
Yeah.
Rhinedock, getting the grade and everything settled, so until he finishes that, and then we can inspect, then we can put the additional items on the list.
unfortunately, he has till October, which we don't want to wait till
Right.
October.
Well, that's my point about talking with him today, is because every thunderstorm, well, you fixed it on Tuesday, it was
Yeah.
Tuesday, and then we had the rain Tuesday night, and you were back again there cleaning it out
That had mostly to do with the road condition on Rhinedock.
on Rhinedock, right?
That it was silt and washed down
Right.
into it, so it's all combined, needing, it's all of it. But if it was paved, then that silt would have followed through and it would have been an issue, so.
Okay.
The reason I say this is, I was in big-time construction, and you formulate a punch list so that he can plan his manpower to do it. You sign off on it, and then everybody's happy. When you keep on adding items, and I'm not saying, things don't crop up as you go along, and things come out that you never saw before, but if you keep on adding one or two items a week, and I hear it all the time here, that this needs to be done, or this needs to be done, I would be pretty upset with it. One punch list, and then if any additional thing before you close out the job, and that's what it's called, closing out the job, then you're done.
But can you meet him up there today at 1?
I'm not involved in this.
Okay.
I haven't been
All right.
involved in this at all. And where
Okay.
do I go? I leave here at 11:15. I don't,
Okay, I was just asking if you
Okay.
wanted to take on that responsibility.
Oh.
Okay.
That culvert.
Kathy, every week I come here, you want to give me jobs. I told you I'm here to manage, and you don't understand that.
I don't think that culvert's on the list either at the end of Bristol stop.
Yeah.
So there are things that have cropped up. But. we
So
should
who's
have- we should have a
formulating
complete list.
the punch list here for the?
It'll be between Kelly and myself. I'll document everything that Kelly finds. But as we realized in the fall, we had a certain road condition. Then in the spring, we realized we had done something wrong, or something was done wrong.
Or things weren't done.
Yeah,
Nothing was
weren't done
wrong.
correctly. So, seasons expose mistakes, and so that's what we saw obviously in the spring.
Yeah.
But no, I mentioned Kelly and I have to go around and find anything new to add to the list.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table.
Yep.
To give Jay the authority to discuss the 2 culvert issues with the contractor, as you're meeting him there today at 1 anyway to discuss 9 Rhinedock.
Yep.
Do you
Okay.
need Kelly there?
Kelly, you're invited if you want to be there. It's for the inspection of the water line.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, he
care
doesn't have
about
to be
that.
there. All you need him there for the culvert, is
Right.
what I'm asking.
Well, I'm short-handed today, so I'd like to
No.
not be there.
Yeah.
Unless I have to, of course I will, but
I think it's pretty obvious.
it is, it's just a question of, I believe that asphalt was cut
Oh,
for that curb stop.
Had to be.
It had to be, it's the only way you can run a curb stop up there, so.
So he doesn't need to be there, is
I
what
don't
you're
think I
saying?
need to.
Okay.
And if there isn't, just call me.
Oh, Kelly, yeah, right, exactly. That's what I said.
I'm in the
Okay.
district.
All right.
Okay, so I say yes.
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 Okay, thank
Okay.
you. What else you got?
There's a new home, well, I don't know if it's a home or just access to property on 7 Jungfrau. It's an extremely steep hill. They do have a driveway permit, but they've been doing a little bit of work here and there on it. They cut in there about a week ago to get up the hill, and it's basically a funnel. And I knew it was gonna happen, and it did. When we got rain, it all come down into the road. The road's a mess. It's got mud and silt in it. The ditch line got filled with the material off their property. I know construction happens. I know they're more, I would think they're going to fix it, but they're not around to fix it. They come up on weekends and here and there to do little things, and from the little tiny excavator they had up there, they're not gonna accomplish what they need to do to make that driveway where it's not gonna affect our road. So I think, at the very least, they should get a letter saying that they need to protect the road. I don't care how long it takes them to do their road, but they need to protect our road from their driveway. There are ways to do that. They can hay bale it, they can silt fence, they can do something to protect us from happening. And the part of it is they put the driveway culvert in, but now it's full of stone and debris, so it's not operating.
Okay, so that's my question. Was that the condition of the driveway permit? When it
The
was
culvert
issued?
with a negative grade, normal, but they put the culvert, and that was fine. They're getting a negative grade until it all washed back down.
This is, the driveway permit, they're under construction right now, is what it is.
Right, and that could take a year,
That's right.
but it can't stay that way a year.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we send a letter to the homeowner asking them to stop the runoff onto the road. And if they need help, to contact the village district, and Kelly will meet with them to help resolve the problem, immediate problem.
They need to protect the road.
That's what I said.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
Discussion.
I mean, should we put in there, I mean, we know what they have to do with hay bales or silt fence.
Whatever.
Should we include that language in the letter,
No.
or let them just make
No, just
that?
send-
Okay, all right,
They're doing the project, they should have someone capable of knowing how to do it.
okay. They have to
I don't
stop
care
one
what
of
they
the,
do, they could build a berm, they could just,
Okay.
whatever it takes. I think we just need to say the road needs to be protected,
Protect,
and any damage to the road is their responsibility.
that's what I'm saying, that's, you just can't say to them, you need to do this. You have to say, or else.
Well, yeah.
That's what you have to do, is give me either a date or a penalty
Now,
for not complying.
I think they should be required to fix what they've done to the, I mean, it's not simple taking silt off of a gravel road. Now you scrape the gravel up, it just,
Okay, so they need to stop what they've already created.
yeah,
They have to stop it from getting worse.
and fix the problem. And fix the result of what
Protect it.
happened.
Yeah. Here's
protect the road is what we want to do.
Immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a question I have for this letter that's to be sent to the
Okay.
homeowner. In our driveway ordinance, we can actually require the applicant to engineer a driveway. And if there was one that needed to be engineered, even when that thing is finished, Kelly,
Yeah,
it's a ski slope.
yeah.
But we didn't say that to him initially.
No, we didn't. And
He's under construction right now.
He
You
may
gotta-
do it right. Until he does it wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's under construction. I mean, you got to give the guy a chance to build do the work that he needs to be done. But I mean, he also shouldn't, do damage to the roads. I mean, the final driveway permit, all that is probably going to come afterwards or at the end. I mean, it's typical. I mean, this is no different than any other thing.
Well, is this where a road bond comes into play? He must have a road bond.
Oh, yeah.
So if we have to fix the road, it shouldn't be at no cost.
Well,
Or whoever fixes the road, it can't be left the way it is either. I mean, it's
Okay.
drivable, it's fine, but the next rain we get, it's gonna do the exact same
we
thing.
haven't even sent them. Let's send him the letter and see the results of the letter. I mean,
The downside is if we get rain tonight, tomorrow, the next day before he gets the letter,
It's going to get worse.
it's gonna get worse.
So the current damage to the road must be remediated.
yeah, we could.
Now,
And any future.
Well, it's got to be protected. Okay.
I'm going to also add to that we should send the letter registered mail.
Certified letter.
Certified.
However you want, whatever the terminology is.
Okay. Motion's been amended.
Okay.
I'll second
Okay.
that.
Well, it was kind of one big long
Yeah.
motion. Okay, to stop the runoff into the road needs to be protected immediately. The current damage to the road must be remediated.
Any further discussion?
I'm a yes.
All in favor, say aye.
So you seconded. Aye. Okay.
You have the property owner? I think you do for the driveway application. Yeah.
Can find it. Okay.
All right, I spoke with we did the water main hookup with Ian yesterday on Granville. It went very smooth. While I was there, I had the opportunity to speak with the homeowner.
Oh,
What?
that was supposed to be scheduled for the 23rd, and we were supposed to discuss it at this meeting,
Yeah.
because there's a,
His driveway permit's expired, so he was supposed to stop all construction.
Well, he didn't know that, and I didn't know that,
and he
didn't
did,
know that.
I'm gonna say, I just got the certified thing back from the homeowner, in yesterday's.
So he did receive it.
He received for both 8 Edelweiss and 8 Granville.
Okay.
When you say the homeowner, you mean the contractor? or-
No, the homeowner.
Well,
Well,
He
the owner,
is the
property owner.
contractor.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the number on Granville? Is
8.
it 8
They're
also?
both 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
completed.
And 8 Idleways, was that?
8 Edelweiss, which is the burn driveway
Right.
culvert that needs to be
Okay.
fixed.
So there's two different,
Same guy, two
Same,
different spots.
yeah.
same guy, but two different issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
We had this scheduled, so
For the-
we just stuck to the schedule to
right.
do it.
Ian postponed it originally because we were having extremely bad
23rd.
weather.
He postponed it last week to
Yeah.
this week,
Oh, okay.
Wait.
So it's done.
It's
So it's
done,
done.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
and luckily it worked out because he did get the road bond, apparently. I mean, the driveway bond.
We don't know that.
We
Oh, I
don't-
thought
we
that's what
never,
you just said.
no.
We were asking him for that, saying
Yeah.
that if you don't provide that update,
Yeah.
you have to stop construction.
Right.
Yeah.
So does the bank notify us?
Wait a minute, I'm confused here. The bond was for
8,
8 Idleways.
no, there's 2 bonds for the driveways. 8 Granville expired,
Okay,
but 8 Edelweiss is still
Extended.
extended. That's as.
it's still on you.
It's still on till, I believe, September.
Okay,
And, I mean, the emails and letters started back in June, and the homeowner never contacted the office on anything. The certified letter went out, and yesterday when I picked up the mail, it was in the signed thing is that he received our
registered letter.
registered letters.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, I spoke with him and he didn't know who I was at first and started getting a little yappy with Ian about the district, so I introduced myself. He backed up a little bit, but I said, you gotta fix that culvert over there. And he said, I don't know what to do. I got this stack of letters from the office. I said, it's very simple. Give me a plan, stick to the plan, and you're okay. And he's trying to deflect blame, and I said, it doesn't matter what you say right now. You have to follow your driveway permit. That's all it is. You don't, if you change out the driveway permit, then you need a new permit because you altered it. And he said, well, he didn't understand why we needed it. And I said, well, that's for file. We keep that on file. In 20 years, when they look back and say, well, that was a 20-foot, now it's a 30-foot. He kind of got it, but he didn't get it. But his final suggestion was, what if he doesn't do it? And I said, this is where we come up with, there is no going back because he has the permit for operation. And the property's been sold.
No, he hasn't gotten the
But
property.
it's been sold.
Yes, it's been sold.
It doesn't belong to him, so he's
Yeah.
pretty much out of the game then. So I said, it's not, if you want to do that to your homeowner, that's not very good business, and he backed up and said he wouldn't do that, so he still plans on doing it. I don't know when.
So we have, on that particular one.
That's not our argument, though. It really isn't our argument.
My argument is, and I said, I don't care. It's not affecting our road anymore. It's the homeowner now that's gonna have the problems. So it's really not, you're right, it's not our, he still needs to do it just for the sake of satisfying the homeowner.
But we still have an $8,000 bond that's in play that we can
Yeah.
tap. If he refuses to do the work correctly, then we can use that, I'm not $8,000, $4,000 bond, we can use that bond to do the work correctly.
But we have no deadline for him to have to do it. That's what I was trying to say. We have nothing to go back on, to say you have to have there's nothing in the application or in the permit that says you have to have this done by a certain date.
Well, he has a
Because he
span
already
of
has a
time.
permit for operation, which he
Right.
doesn't.
Have we ever gone back and recouped money from a bond, from a driveway permit to fix a driveway?
I don't know, that I couldn't answer that
I
one.
mean, does anybody recall that ever happening?
I've never seen
No.
it.
But his, so his bond is expiring in September, correct?
For this,
Otherwise,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
And-
what,
Yeah, and then in the letter, it states that the board has given you 1 week from the date of this letter to resubmit the driveway application and to correct the culvert installation. Otherwise, the district will take further action to remedy the situation.
okay.
okay.
So when was that? When did he receive the letter?
Well,
When did he sign the register?
there's no date that, I can check with the,
Well, you got it back. When did you get it back?
just yesterday.
So
Recent.
he's got a week from, worst case scenario, a week from yesterday,
Yeah,
which was...
20.
the 21st.
So the 28th. So,
So next week's
Can we
meeting.
wait?
Well, he's saying it's not his problem. He's not responsible. He sold the house.
Right, but then he kind of said he wouldn't do that to the home.
but he's the one who has the bond, correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
Yes.
So why don't we send another register letter stating that if we don't receive the information by the 28th, then we are gonna call the bond. Since his expires September, is this September 1st? And send CC the new owner and the bonding company.
I believe we did on that one, right?
Yeah.
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 Because once the bonding company knows that you're gonna call the bond, they're gonna move on it.
Does it make sense to see if he even adheres to what the last letter said? 'Cause
This
he's
is
got a week to do
August,
it.
August 2021, the 20th of August.
The bond
That's
is
when it
expired.
expires? I know he has a
August 20,
contract
wait a minute,
on that
August
back
20th is
21.
what?
August 20th of 21.
The
is
bond
when this
expires.
bond expires.
Okay, so if we call, if we give them the 28th, that gives us time to respond.
Letter to contractor. We're
Homeowner,
already telling him he's got 1 week to fix it or we'll take action.
That's right.
We already
Yeah.
told him that.
right.
So now
we
now what are we
CC the
telling him?
bonding company, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
But the
So-
trouble is, there's no date on.
Yeah. 1 week.
We gave 1 week.
1
Yeah,
week.
but there's no date on the registered certified letter, is what she's saying.
No, there's a date on the letter.
Yeah.
The letter has a date, but there's no date on the return receipt.
There is with the post office. They scan that barcode.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Well, if you
ask,
say 1 week, and 1 week, you don't know when the week started, so you have to
Yeah,
have-
it says 1 week from the date of the letter, right?
the date of the letter was July 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're giving him the benefit of the doubt, and we're gonna, give him a week from when he received the letter.
We got it back the 21st, so I would say the 28th, we're gonna take further action unless we receive a new driveway.
You want to see if he comes through on
Yeah.
what you've already,
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then we're gonna
send him a letter.
proceed with the work
Yeah,
and bill.
okay.
And the bond, notify the bonding company that we're taking action. Because the bonding company should start, they don't wanna spend the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're sending a letter to the contractor telling him what?
That by the 28th, if we don't receive, you want a new driveway
Permit.
permit.
Yeah.
And
Okay, now we asked him for a new driveway permit in that letter we just sent him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's
It's the same
gotten, and he
Yeah,
got the
we've already told him we
application.
want a new
It's the
driveway
same thing,
permit,
Mike.
we already told him that, Mike.
but he hasn't,
Well, we know.
Right, so he has it. That's right.
And we gave him a deadline, we already gave him a
So we know now what
deadline.
to do.
Right,
we can proceed. We've already given them the same warning.
So you just need the deadline for when this expires.
Exactly.
You need to find out
So
when
wait,
you
and-
I'll go over after the meeting and see when it was scanned and then,
the date
Okay.
of signature.
yeah.
So we've already, made the threats to him numerous times. Not threats, I shouldn't say, that's not the right
No.
word.
We've emailed him 3 times. We've sent a registered letter on.
Certified letter, yeah.
Certified
Yeah.
letter. Kelly spoke with the contractor and explained everything when the emails went out. So this goes back to June.
Okay. All right.
So I think it's a waste of the district's time, and we're gonna be pushing it out another,
Well, we're not pushing it out at all.
Yeah, I think next week we will be making a decision.
Yeah,
and I,
that's what I think. I know he has a contractor coming in to run that water line with the machine, so maybe his plan is to, while he has the machine there.
Okay.
Right.
So we gotta
okay,
at least give him what we said we'd give him.
Okay.
okay, all right. So
Not
no
that I
second
want
on,
to, but-
so no second on that motion.
All right. What
Okay.
else you got, Kelly?
That's all.
Okay.
Good job on the roads, by the way, after all that rain.
Well, we're not done yet, but yeah, it's, the many, we usually, this happens 3 or 4 times by now, so we have the
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
The rain holding off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I just ask a question while Kelly's here? I had a homeowner, a landowner call me yesterday. Class 6 road, Omega, I believe
Yep.
it was. And he started clearing trees the last time he was up here and putting them, he was not sure whether he was putting them on the road or on his property, but he said they weren't a lot of trees, but they were a tree. And somebody moved them back into his property. He also marked different things, and the markings have been taken off, like the marking tape. He also asked, what is the law in regards to a Class 6 road getting into his property and starting to clear the land? My understanding, anything to start clearing the land and everything, you need a driveway permit. So I just want clarification on that. The second thing is he wanted to know if he could put a container on his property while he's building to lock his tools and stuff on it. I said, I know you definitely need the application for that. I don't know if you can put things on,
That would be a Madison zoning issue of putting trailers and storage on a piece of property while building.
Yeah, but the other half of your question was, to start clearing the property,
Yeah.
does he need an application for driveway or what?
Yeah.
No, he can cut trees.
You don't have, when you cut into a property, you don't need, because what if he does damage to the road?
He's accessing his property, just like the other one on Bristol side. If he's accessing the property
Yeah.
from our road, he's making an access.
That's what I think. is
Well,
right.
if he's driving in to the property, if that's the purpose of clearing the trees is to gain access for a vehicle, then yeah. But if he's just going into his property, a lot of people have what's called woodlots, and they just go.
Well,
Well, if you put the trailer in there, he's gonna gain
Yeah,
access.
if he's
Yeah.
creating an access for a vehicle to the property, then yes, a driveway permit would be required for construction. But I have a woodlot, and I go up every now and then and.
Okay, let's stay on this, let's not talk
Yeah.
about your law.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
just
creating
like this
access-
Class 6, there's so much coming up with all
Oh,
these
I know.
lands being
Yeah.
built, and I don't know,
A lot of new questions.
Yeah, things that we've not had to deal
Yeah.
with. Okay, so
So-
if he's creating access from the road, he'll need a driveway permit.
And as far as any modifications to the road, if he
Okay, that
intends.
was my next
Okay,
question.
yeah.
He wanted to know if he could put gravel down on the road, and I said absolutely
On what road,
no.
our road?
To get into
Class
his
6.
Class 6 road.
He would have to come before this board now.
I knew that
Yeah.
you can't change our roads. You can clear it to maintain, to get into the road is my
That's what I
understanding.
do.
So, and I don't know, like, his property, he also was complaining because his property had ATV tracks on it. And I said, well, that's not, yes, I said that, Mike. I said that would, you'd call the police. That's nothing that we can do. We have no clue of who's moving stuff, or somebody's taking stuff off your property. We have no control over
That's
that.
interesting. If the trees got moved, you'd think somebody would need a piece of equipment to do that.
They weren't that big
Or
tree.
they just some
I
sapling?
looked at it yesterday.
Oh, you did, okay,
It's like 3 or 4 branches.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I just,
But you gotta think of it this way. People that live on Class 6 roads right now maintain them.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
put gravel down, they do all kinds of maintenance to their road without any permission from us. Why is this different? It's a Class 6 road. If he wants to put gravel down to fill in some holes so we can get to his lot. And I agree, we should see what he's doing.
Right.
But why does he have to ask permission when nobody else does?
I believe it's,
It says you have to, as long as he's
Yeah.
improving the road and not making it worse.
well, yeah, and I believe, I forget what the number of the RSA is, so I'm not gonna give a number out. But I believe there's an RSA that says any modifications to Class 6 roads for access to one's property has to be brought before the selectmen or the board of commissioners in this case.
So the other people on the Class 6s should be, if they got a pothole on their Class 6 road,
Yeah.
they should,
But is that a modification to the road, just doing a minor repair?
Pothole, no, but if you're bringing in a truckload of gravel, yeah.
Okay.
well, we don't know what his intention was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, let me give you this. This will help you on the Class 6.
oh, thank you, Mike, I appreciate that.
That's 674,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, I'll make a copy and give it back to you.
Actually, is that from the Hard Road to Travel?
What?
Is that from the book Hard Road to Travel, from the
No,
NHMA?
It's off of New Hampshire. It's in New Hampshire RSA's.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
so
So if he's
for a
create-
container,
Town of
he
Madison.
has the town of Madison.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if he's
He can put it
creating,
on his property. He can't destroy his stuff? Of course he could.
Yeah, he owns the property.
He owns the
He
property.
just has to gain access, and that's where we would require him to.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so if he brings the container on, he definitely needs a driveway permit.
That's what I'm saying.
If he's I would just say, if he's creating access, whether he puts a container or not, if he's creating access, he needs a driveway permit.
And that's when we go back to the fact that he doesn't need a septic design or anything else for the driveway permit, which is part of our driveway permitting, which doesn't apply.
I know.
So,
When he submits the septic approval to the state, he's going to have a drawing.
but he's not even wanting to do that, he just wants to get on his property. So our driveway permit requires he show all this stuff, which includes a septic design, right, Donna?
Yes, it's a septic and a
But he does not
stamp
look to
plan.
do that right
No, he's not, so that's like,
Well, and I think our last meeting, or the meeting before, we said if there's no proposed building, then the septic design requirement will be waived. So we already made that decision, that if it's on a if there's no building being built, then there's no septic design.
Yeah, but I think there's some importance to that requirement in that septic design will show wetlands.
So, but wetlands has nothing to do with the driveway
Still
permit.
gain access on wetlands.
Yep.
Well, it does, because anyone that wants to put a driveway in has to be so far away from a wetland. And if we don't know where the wetlands are, because we waived it, and we're allowing them to put a driveway right through a wetland, theoretically, right?
You don't know, let him, make the application out and submit it. We should be designing it. We need to
I
approve it,
think
that's all.
even wetlands can gain access. It's your property.
yeah, you just can't ruin a wetland, that's all.
So I'm worried about the 2 feet on this side and 2 feet on that side. Beyond that, it's just a decision, what is the protocol, the procedure? You can't require, you're not gonna have the septic designer decide whether we can put a driveway in because it's wet. We have to say it's wet or dry. You're almost paying the septic company to do the inspection on a property that the guy has no intention of putting a septic on.
Well, you can hire a soil scientist as well.
Well, who's gonna do that, the homeowner?
The homeowner would be responsible, yeah.
I'm sure they're cheap. I'm just, let's
It's not-
die,
it's
it's
not-
your property, you should be
Yeah.
able to gain your property.
Yeah. Yeah, and our ordinance doesn't say that, Joe.
Oh, I know it doesn't now, but after last night's hearing,
Yeah.
I think we ought to consider rewriting the ordinance to include some of that stuff.
Well, right now, the ordinance doesn't include
Right,
it, so.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so if he's creating access from our road onto his property, he needs
Drive.
a drive permit. If he was parking on the side of the road and just going in and cutting down some trees for firewood,
Right.
then he wouldn't. But if he's moving his vehicle, if he's cleared an area where he can pull his vehicles into that property, that's, I think
Because that's
Kelly,
when the mess starts.
that's what Kelly said
Okay.
very clearly. I think that's
Okay.
when the mess starts.
Yeah, he'll
Okay.
start pulling
So
loud.
if he's
Okay, so
creating-
if he's parking on the side of the road
I would just
to
say-
walk into his property and to do what he wants on his property,
Yeah.
he can do whatever he wants.
Right, yes.
If he's pulling his car in, creating something, then a driveway.
Access.
Which
Okay.
sounds like if he wants to throw gravel down in that area, that sounds exactly what he's doing.
Okay,
So if he's creating it, I wouldn't go into the,
He's quite a ways down in the woods,
yeah.
yeah.
so he's just, when, he did gain access, but I think it's kind of a rough ride in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he, about a month ago had questioned, I asked the question, but he wanted to put a camper on and live there while he built. I did tell him he could not do that. And he doesn't understand because it's his property.
Did somebody, I'm trying to think who was telling me that if you've got a building permit and you've got 1 year to build your property, that you can live in a temporary,
I'd have to look at that.
yeah, I thought that, I don't know who was telling me that, but,
Thank you
Yeah.
for everything to Madison.
yeah, exactly. And that's not our call anyway.
All you gotta worry about is the driveway, like I do.
Okay,
Anything else is
all
code
right.
enforcement,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so that's all he can
I
deal
thought
with.
somebody said, like, if you
Okay.
had a house fire, for instance, and you had to live on, and they bring in, that happened to my parents, they bring in a trailer, so you can live there while the house is being reconstructed.
And that was-
But you've got
Yeah,
1
and
year
we
to do it.
did
There's a
one
time.
That was done on,
Person.
Yeah. So there are situations where living in a temporary
Yeah.
camper, whatever, is acceptable if you've got a building permit and you've got 1 year to complete your home.
I don't believe that parking on the side of the road is legal either.
What do you mean?
I think the village district doesn't allow parking on the side of the road.
Only
Just
during the
in
winter
winter
time.
season,
Only during winter.
winter time.
Well, and overnight, I think
Yeah.
temporary, I can't imagine you can park on the road, well, some roads
I
you
can't
can't.
see how you can park on Idlewice Drive on both sides and limit the amount of traffic.
Our ordinance does not, it prohibits parking on the roads at any time during the winter season, whatever our beginning and end dates are.
Yeah, I know that's, but I don't believe that you can also park on the side of the roads.
I'll tell that to all the people at Boulder Beach.
Yeah, well, there's parking areas at the beach.
No, but they're full. People park on the
Yes,
road.
2 days ago.
Yeah, they
Couldn't
were
get
everywhere.
by.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
Okay.
And not with, that was my,
Okay, with Kelly.
with Kelly, sorry.
Thank you, Kelly. Just before you leave, I'm just gonna reach out to Doug. Do you have anything for
I
Kelly?
had one thing for Kelly, we
Wait.
had already addressed that,
Yeah.
the speed bumps,
Yeah,
and that was it for Kelly.
okay, thank you.
Thought there was something else on the end, is there? I have to read real quick. Emails from Kevin Ackert, has that been addressed?
No.
We had to pull a picnic table off of Porridge Shore because it was rotted, it was done.
Yeah.
So, from my count, we're missing 2 picnic tables. One at Porridge, and I believe the other one's at, I'd have to check, but I think it's at Deuces. Those typically come from Parks and Rec, I believe.
Yeah. Last year, EPOA donated one for the summit,
Yeah, that's.
because that one was rotted up
yeah,
there.
that's not-
So this one's no good that Kevin was
Yeah,
gonna
we pulled it
repair?
out, so there's only one left at Porridge, and I believe there's one at Thusis that was taken out earlier, so.
So you need 2 to
I need
replace
2
it.
tables.
You got a price for them?
No, but I just saw that Lowe's had a whole pile of them out there. Last year, and I'm sure they've gone up, but I think they're about $99 last year.
Where's this?
Yeah,
That may have doubled.
Lowe's. So.
So I'll make a motion to let Kelly go purchase 2 picnic tables and get them back out in the beaches.
But we don't know what the price is.
I
I'll
can
put a
spend
limit of
1,500,
300.
so
Yeah.
it's within mine, I mean, unless you wanna start building them.
Lumber
Get your
alone.
volunteers together, start building picnic tables.
Oh, come on now. We can't even rake the
Well, we
beaches.
got people on the beaches right now.
What do you mean they can't even rake the beaches?
I'll get into it tomorrow, after the beaches in a minute. I made a motion for $300, up to $300 to purchase 2.
And this is for
For 2
portage,
tables.
for portage.
Shore and Lucis, I believe.
Let me see if I can get a
I'll
price.
second that motion.
Okay. Good? Yes.
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 Okay, 2 tables.
All right.
Before you leave, there was some email from Kevin Ackert. There's an erosion problem at the Portage Shore Beach area.
There's always been a road.
Yeah.
on the shore beach.
Um,
It's on the beach, not on the road, so.
Okay, so he's saying beach could be corrected rather than, he doesn't say how.
No.
Okay. All right?
We can't mess with the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
All we can do is correct the drainage that will affect the neighbor who I guess we don't do anything with. You know how that works with him.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for Kelly? Okay, thank you, sir.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Wait a minute, this brush cutting, is this come under you?
I think that's for his water line,
Yeah.
not for me.
Okay,
The water mains.
Our brush cutting is set for the fall,
all right,
at least with the contractor.
okay.
I'll bring that up when that gets close.
Okay. Okay. We go jumping over to Donna, administrative report.
Okay, I did get the signature card also back from the Bristol stock.
Okay.
So
all
that
right.
came
About
back.
the rocks in the road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was signed 7/15, so
Okay.
that's, let's see. Okay, the other thing is I received
What's the number on that Bristol stock? 42 or 45?
42, I believe.
Okay.
I received an email from Primex that we have a holiday premium distribution for workman's comp and unemployment. If we would take, to get the refund, we need to send a letter into the Primex requesting the refund.
Okay.
The workman's comp is the coverage period from January 1st of 2021 through December 21st, 2021. It's not the property and liability that
Oh, okay.
splits the year.
Okay.
And that would be coming back as $1,665.95.
1665?
Yes.
Okay. So that's unemployment and
That's
Workman's
for
comp.
workman's comp is that
Workman's
$1665.95.
comp. Okay.
For the unemployment is the same coverage period, January to December. And we would be getting $2,409.22.
Okay.
So, I did type up a letter for you to sign if you wanted to, sign that, just,
I'll make a motion that we send a letter to Primex asking for reimbursement of those 2 amounts.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? No. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Yes.
The other option is that we could let it accumulate
yeah, and that
Into
threw
the
off
following
our
year.
budget.
Yeah. for years past.
2 years ago, I believe we got it.
Last year.
Last year, yeah, but this is definitely for
We
this
just
year's
voted
period.
on it, so let's move forward.
Okay, the other thing I did, and I know I sent it out, was the email, the audit. It looks like next week we'll be getting something, a draft
On the audit,
on the audit, yeah.
There's that letter.
is it a preliminary or is it final?
A preliminary.
A draft. Yeah, she said it was a draft.
Okay.
And the other thing was the water shut-off letters. That Kathy was typed up just for signatures. The only one we're missing is a Laura Coughlin, because for some reason it didn't make the property.
You couldn't find it either?
No, but I did add her information
Okay.
onto it. And then I should have typed up the letter, didn't even think,
Okay.
for signatures, so I'll need a signature.
Is that property owner on Bergdorf? Coughlin?
I don't, no, it was Edelweiss Drive.
Okay.
So, and on this balance summary sheet, there is one homeowner, it's not a water bill, it's a culvert. I contacted the homeowner, and she completely forgot to send the bill. She put the bill in the mail yesterday.
Okay.
For $513.45.
What property was that?
Porridge,
Oh, yes.
Shore,
Number 10?
yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the letters that need to be signed. I just want to make sure, yeah.
Do you know how many there are?
There should be 27.
It was
I
30,
took,
and then
there
we
was
took
a,
3 off.
yeah,
Do we want to sign them after the meeting so that we can move along?
Well, Mike's gonna be gone.
Okay.
Well, Mike's signing it.
Yeah, Mike,
Okay.
yeah. Mike first. All right, we'll continue while Mike's signing.
and that's all I have.
8 Burn and 8 Grandview.
We already talked about that.
That was Nyman.
Oh, 8 Grandview we talked about. What about Vern?
Well, that's 8
That's-
Edelweiss, but his
That's-
driveway's on
okay.
that barn.
Mhm.
All right.
And August meeting,
Oh, just the schedules.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm moving mine back to 9 o'clock. I'll be here at 9. I'm not starting at 8.
Okay.
It's crazy. So,
Well, the meetings always used to start at 8, Mike. When you were commissioner, they always started at 8, and we were trying to accommodate.
and
You.
also we're on Tuesday, not Thursday, so we can,
So 8 o'clock on Tuesdays you could do, but not 8 o'clock on Thursdays.
no, I'm not doing 8 o'clock anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
All right? So,
All right.
All right. So we're gonna change all the meetings back to 9 o'clock.
yep.
Well, actually, Kelly, though.
It's better for
beneficial
Kelly.
For him.
So next Thursday will be 9 a.m.?
Well, I don't know
All
yet.
right, just let me know.
Okay.
Thank you.
For right now, I
Keep him a little
think it's,
And,
if we were to change the times again, let's at least give another week notice.
Okay.
So next week will be 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
We can have that
And actually,
discussion.
like I said, I'm gonna be in northern Maine,
Right.
so
You're
I.
gonna be by yourself because I'm not coming to 9 next week. There won't
Okay.
be a meeting tonight.
All right.
So, and I may or may, I don't know if I can call in. I don't know what the reception is at Moosehead Lake, so.
True.
Okay, so just to let you know, I'll try to call in, and if not, we'll have to wait till 9 till until Mike gets here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's.
So August meetings, the August meetings, so not next, so next,
So 5, 12, 19, and 26?
okay, so I'll post the August meetings Thursdays, but at 9? Jay,
Yep.
at 9, all right.
It's funny, last week you come in here, the day before meeting that you the day the meeting that you posted at 5:30 for a meeting the following day at 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
And now you want to wait a week to move a meeting an hour.
Because it doesn't
I
affect,
understand.
doesn't
I
affect,
mean-
because this affects Kelly, that's why.
All right.
Kelly can show up at 9.
He doesn't prefer it, but, yeah.
So,
he
we'll-
can.
so we'll do 8 o'clock this coming week, and then August meetings will be at 9.
I don't know how you're going to do 8 o'clock because I'm not coming to 9 and you're not going to be here. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Jumping down to signature items?
Yeah.
So I must be by myself. Oh, Jesus.
We have the manifest for total amount.
Well, let's go back up. Let's go up to the public hearing.
Yeah.
That's just old
Okay.
business.
All right, so I posted on the website, you
Yep.
know, the proposed dam management plan. We really didn't have the ordinance marked up per se for the changes. I just put in there that we're considering the fee and clarification on water line extensions and how that
Yes.
affects the property. So we didn't really mark up the water ordinance
Right.
with any proposed changes, but you have to put something in there that we're going to be discussing those two things. And also just discussion on public memorials.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because there was no policy or
There's
anything.
nothing in place to
So it's just
change,
going to be a initial discussion.
Okay.
And that was posted.
On the website.
On the website, and
Bulletin board?
it ran in the Sun Chronicle,
Ah,
not
yeah,
Conway Sun, on Saturday,
Okay,
page 27A,
okay. And on the bulletin board?
and on the 2 bulletin
Okay.
boards. I posted it.
Thank you. Great. So then jumping down to the manifest, 18 checks for a total of $18,909.36.
Yep.
And
Okay, and I noted on the thing, because of the tax checks, the tax check and the water transfer fund happened after we approved the manifest last
Oh, yeah,
week.
yeah.
But it was in last week's date period.
Right.
The payroll checks were already processed, they're on here, but we already approved them last week, so that's my notation on the manifest.
Okay, for payroll checks, okay. Is Simply Water in this week's?
No?
Okay. Because I think, so I'll make a motion that we approve the amount of $18,909.36. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any
I got
further
a question
discussion?
on one,
Sure, go ahead, Mike.
on the attorney's bills.
Yep.
His bill was $13.46. What was involved in that bill? Or can I see the breakdown?
Yep, you would have gotten that yesterday in the email.
Yeah, but I didn't have the breakdown. I didn't have this. I saw,
That was copied.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in my email at all.
No, I copied the whole manifest
thing,
for you.
right.
You sign the checks?
Just,
Upside down, now, almost
Thank
in
you.
order.
Thank
Excuse me, Jay.
Yes.
I have to dash to a class, an online class, I'm required to take. Just wanted to pop on a couple of quick items for EPOA.
I'll allow that while we're signing. Go ahead.
Okay. I mentioned that the next board meeting is the 31st.
31st,
I
yeah.
thought it was the 24th. I corrected to the 31st. And Kathy, that means that the 3 items, up to 3 items for a possible newsletter would be after that, not
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
There'll be at least one for the yard sale, and then if the board approves the other 2, then the 3 will write them up. I'll email
Just
them to
yep.
you on early that week. And that's it.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you very much, Doug.
All right, thanks.
So one of my issues was that, Jay, you were calling the attorney and talking to him without the other commissioners. So we had a spirited conversation about that earlier, and I reiterate the fact that all 3 commissioners should be part of the conversation. I see on 6/25 you did the same thing, called the attorney again without the other commissioners. It's got to stop, and all commissioners be involved in it. This is nothing new. Look at 6/25. Actually, on 6/4, you did it, he's got it as twice. I would say that's probably,
Okay. Well, yeah, but, no, I'm good, I'm good. Just a little bit of the strain. So that was discussed, the small claims. Yep. So the district had a small claims brought against it. And I informed our attorney of that situation as the chair. What I don't see here, and I appreciate this, is a charge for a call that I did make to Attorney Doug Mansfield.
Yeah, that's what
It's on there.
No. Right, right.
Oh, but
There was a second call. We called him one day as a group of Board of Commissioners, and we had non-public.
That might be the next billing cycle,
That's on there.
Yeah, the non-public.
the non-meeting.
Yeah, the non-meeting.
That's on
That's
there.
on
Bill.
here.
Yeah, I know.
That's on it.
I know. So I called him after that meeting, because you had left, Mike, and that the other two commissioners that were still here felt,
The other two commissioners. What do we,
myself and Kathy, that an apology was owed.
I'm glad that you think that. I disagree with you.
Okay. So he didn't charge us for that apology, phone call.
I think he knows better, because at the end of that meeting, he said that the board should be calling. He expects to hear from them. He expected at the end of that meeting to talk to the board, not to one individual.
to Mike.
So I think he realizes he was wrong.
I don't think I ever heard that.
I heard that.
I wasn't at that meeting.
Distinctly,
I did not go to that meeting.
yes, you were. You were at the meeting, because all three of us were talking to him. I remember exactly what he said at the end. I'll wait to hear back from the board, is what he said.
On that particular issue as
Yes.
to whether,
Yeah.
no, Mike, he said, the issue we were discussing, he said, I'll wait to hear from the board when they decide what to do about that
Right.
specific issue. That's what he said.
That's a decision of the board.
Right, absolutely, it's a
And
decision
one
of the
person
board.
can call him with that decision.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we don't need to discuss it. I don't think that we did anything incorrect or illegal or improper or
I'm not
immoral
saying,
or unethical.
I'm saying that the whole board should hear. Call.
But I'm glad we had the meeting, because I think an awful lot was clarified. And I think there were a lot of misinterpretations that you had previous to the meeting, and I think the attorney...
I think we're gonna clarify it all in February or March at the annual meeting.
That'll be good.
We're gonna probably cancel that, no problems at all. We'll send that whole thing, because I believe you were part of it, that you claimed that you weren't. And
Part
then
of
you
what?
can, he claimed that he had no part of that. He's been
what?
claiming that order. Let's move on.
Okay.
That gag order from the beginning.
There is,
There's no-
Mike, there is no
there's no
gag
gag
order.
Okay, that's a terminology I use.
Well,
It's a legal term. It's like saying word small claims. It's an exact
Okay.
term.
We'll clarify it in February or March. Don't worry about that. I'm not, 'cause it will go away then.
And I think, so Donna, I think we told you that you have complete freedom to speak with the former administrator, and she has the complete freedom, actually the obligation according to the contract, to inform you of anything that you may know that you're seeking. If we
That's what it says.
said that wrongly, then let's correct that now. But I believe all that is in place with the contract the way it was written. Am I wrong?
The way the attorney, yeah.
Part of this is,
Okay, yeah.
the camera's on. This
Yeah.
is not public.
Right. But the contract is, and that's the way I interpret it.
the contract is public.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The contract isn't public, it's a legal document.
No, that's a public contract. That's a
No,
public document.
Ralph requested it, and
Yeah.
he had a
Oh,
copy
is
of it a year
Yeah.
ago.
Anyone can request it,
Yeah,
yeah.
they redacted one little sentence in the beginning, that was it.
Okay.
Okay.
Just sign that.
I still couldn't get the zip code to put that zero in there. So do you need labels for all these, or do you have to handwrite the certified letter?
I'd have to handwrite.
Do you?
but-
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't,
So,
These as well.
manifest hasn't been approved yet. Let's move this along.
Yep, I'll make a motion. Made the motion. We had a second. All in favor, say aye.
hang on.
All right,
Okay, you want to see the attorney bill? Okay.
I saw it.
Okay, 3-0, okay. And we probably could have cut and pasted this to this, that other letter.
You know, and just to keep the meeting moving,
Yeah.
I'll sign these.
Those two at the bottom, Jen.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is the,
No, right there, at the bottom of
okay,
that. Yeah.
finish the checks first.
Go ahead. I can do two things at once.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, go back at that.
We get the water shut-off letter, we're just signing those.
Yeah.
Going to jump right down to commissioners' reports. I'm going to let Mike, do you want to go first, Mike?
No, I'm good. Oh, no, I'm not good.
Well, finish doing those, then
Yeah,
Jay
you-
can sign the checks.
This is on.
Initial that. And sign all the checks.
Get those two? Thank you.
Thank you.
Got something, Mike?
Yeah, beaches.
Yeah.
I walked by the first beach yesterday, between 8 and 9:30,
Okay, what is
What's
first,
the word,
beach?
first
What's
beach?
first beach?
Boulder?
Boulder Beach.
Okay.
It was a pig pen. There was a woman on the beach, and she even said, "I can't believe this." A young girl, I would say not a woman, probably younger than 30, she was there with her dog.
No dogs at the beach.
The beach, there was rags on it, well, towels, sandals, some other stuff that was on the beach. The beach needed cleaning, and it isn't, I don't know who's controlling the beaches. You people said that you had people.
Did you see me there Friday morning raking the beach?
I saw, was that you?
That was me,
Okay, that was Friday morning, but it wasn't yesterday morning.
right.
I'm telling you, the beach was a mess yesterday.
Okay,
You need to bring your mobile RV down and stay
I
there.
know. You should have seen Idlewice Beach.
That's a good comment, Jed. That's
You should have seen
really
Idlewice Beach Friday morning. There was 7 kayaks, 9 chairs, maybe a dozen inflated rafts,
Yeah, yeah.
towels, sandals, plastic toys, a table, all scattered on the beach. Kayaks weren't, they were all set to one side. So we threw away all the toys, the scuba mask, the sandals, so, yeah.
Why people?
Yeah, and then a gentleman came from the side property saying, "Oh, well, I just put my kayak there this
Yeah,
morning,
yeah.
and we thought," he says, "This, you don't own the land." I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, we do own this land." And then he became a little more apologetic, and "Oh, we used to," anyway, he gave the same old story, it used to be a nice place, now all the other, not him, the short-term rental, all the other short-term rentals. So once a week, cleaning of the beaches is what's been.
So that's what goes, that's
I mean,
what's going on.
even 5 years ago, I mean, we didn't have DPW going down there every day.
Every day it didn't rain, they cleaned it. On the weekends, they cleaned the beach.
Did you
It's
pick
what
up?
we
Did you
had.
pick up any of the stuff that was on the beach when you were there?
No,
Okay.
I told you, you people did, I suggested to you that I made a motion.
So if people were at the beach and there were towels on the beach, that's not trash. And sandals, that's
No,
not
it was
trash.
soaking wet, it was soaking wet. The towel, no one, there was only one person on the beach, and there was a bunch of stuff spread out
Okay.
throughout the beach.
I don't consider towels and sandals trash, but I'm sorry.
Well, if you saw it embedded in the sand like I did, you would.
Towels and sandals.
Towel, sandals, it looked like another rag there,
A
some
rag.
papers there.
Okay. Okay.
I was going to clean out the outhouses today after this meeting, but I'm going to let it wait till this afternoon after the Rhinehart meeting.
Okay, 22D's back. I don't know if Ian gets a list of the stems, the shut-off valve stems that are coming up, but that thing's coming out on a 45, that needs to be replaced, dug up and replaced. I don't know if he gets 4 or 5 and does them all in one day, which is how we used to do it. But that one needs to be done.
And what is that?
22D's back.
And what is he, is that
Water
the,
shut-off extension.
Damaged valve
He
stem.
won't be
Curb
able,
valve.
he can't shut the water off as it is now. So normally what we used to do is get a list of 4 or 5 or even 6 of them, and he'd go and do it all in one day.
Okay.
with the backhoe, because he has to dig down to the shut-off valve down there.
Okay. I'll let him know, he might be aware. I know he ordered different parts for maintenance,
To have on hand.
to have on hand, so.
I think the last order was 6 stems, or was it 10? I saw the pile at the garage.
Yeah.
So if he's to do what we anticipate to be this year's water hookups for new construction, and then do all the repairs, he's probably gonna need a little more.
Okay.
And so, I don't know if we talked about the meeting, and Friday we got interviews scheduled for 11, 11:45, and 12:30. Why is Paula scheduling the interviews? I didn't understand that.
Because he asked
Because
her
the
to.
time frame.
It's just an extra resource.
Yeah.
Because between all that Kathy and I are doing, helping the
You sign the
administrative.
treasurer's name on these.
Oh.
You didn't have to sign these.
What?
Okay. Full time.
Because of what we're doing, Paul has offered to help administratively, and so we thought that'd be a good thing for her to do, since she was doing it when she was a commissioner prior.
And we took your schedule into account because you couldn't make it until 11 o'clock
I
on Friday.
understand that.
So that's why,
I understand, all right? But that is what wasn't the question.
Right.
The question was about Paula,
Why is Paul doing it?
not why Mike wasn't gonna be there till 11.
That's what I was explaining, is that Kathy and I feel we've already taken on quite a bit of the workload. You have stated repeatedly that you don't want to do any work, you only want to manage. But if there's no one to manage, then somebody's got to pick up the work, and Paula has volunteered to do that for
well,
free.
not volunteered. She's
Yeah.
going to bill us.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna what?
She's billing us
As a,
as a subcontractor, $20 an hour.
I thought that come back from Primex, that was wrong.
Nobody said it was wrong. It just said that she.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Last
did.
No, they just said,
Yeah, she
Primex
needed,
doesn't cover it, but she's going to look into her own umbrella policy.
No, we're beyond that.
Yeah, they said she needed what kind of
She
policy?
needs a certificate of insurance for liability.
Right.
And according to Primex, it's not covered under her personal
Right.
umbrella policy. She was going to check with her insurance company to see what she could get.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it was.
Totally wrong here, what's going on. Totally wrong.
Well, unfortunately for myself, I can only work,
I understand.
and the
But you're an
office,
employee of the village district, so
That's
you're
correct.
covered by our insurance.
yes.
She is not, either she becomes an employee, or she goes, if she wants to be a subcontractor, go get insurance.
That's what I just said. She was-
I understand
Yeah,
that, but
okay.
I'm trying to explain to these
Oh,
people,
okay, all
and they
right.
don't get it.
Okay, all right,
get it.
I
Or
got
they,
that. I
or
get
maybe
that
they
part.
get it,
I
and they
do
don't
get
want to
that.
hear it because it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
So tell me what's going to happen here to resolve this.
To resolve what?
The issue where she shouldn't be working as a subcontractor without insurance.
I don't know. Do we ask? I don't think we asked. Mike, she's doing us a favor by helping out the district until we get another person on board. And Jay and I feel very comfortable about having Paula do that.
I feel uncomfortable having somebody work without insurance.
Okay, so noted. So noted.
So I'll make a motion that we ask Paula to consider working as a part-time employee or.
She said she wouldn't do it right here.
Yeah,
She would prefer not to do it
she
that
would
way.
prefer not to, but I want to basically give her the two options, part-time employee or provide a certificate of insurance, and let her decide. So motion's on the floor?
Okay, Doyle, to either.
Either, right. That was guidance from our,
So we're going back to what I said before. So was that seconded?
not yet.
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Kathy for
Okay.
So
discussion.
we are creating jobs for ex-commissioners, okay? And I'm a no vote on that. I don't need to say anything else.
Okay, so
Okay.
two passes 2-1.
Yep, okay. I vote yes.
2-1. Okay. All right. Next.
All right. Mike, was that the only thing you had?
So when we talk in non-public, we're gonna bring two people back for 45-minute interviews. This is what gets me. So I saw the schedule on the interview starting Friday at 11, and then another one at 11:45, and another one at 12:30. We were gonna do the second interviews for 45 minutes, not these initial interviews at 45 minutes.
No, but there's a half-hour interview, and then you've got like 15 minutes to have a little discussion and let that person leave and the next person come in.
But we didn't do that on the initial ones.
Well, we do had one, Mike,
Did we not do that on the initial?
we did, we had one at 9.
No, you had them
and
right after each other, within a half
You
hour.
were only there for one and a half interviews. So,
Yeah.
So we-
That's because the chairman of the Board of Commissioners tried to call my house, discussing Idlewild business by asking me, and I hung up on him because I told him I would not talk to him about it, and hung up.
I know he called
so
you
we know-
and said, by the way, wanted to make sure you knew what time the interview schedule was.
He didn't even get to that because I wouldn't let him
Well,
talk.
that's why he called you.
And that's why
He,
you were
he,
late.
he said
And
to
then-
me he wanted to text me, is what he said, and I don't do text, so.
Okay, well, that's why he called you, to make sure you were aware when we had scheduled the meeting.
Was that
because you
the right
don't.
way, or should it go through the office?
She tried.
Nobody's there.
I understand.
Unfortunately, Mike,
But what happened is, when I left here that last Thursday, the first meeting, interviews was gonna be Wednesday. Am I correct?
We thought Mondays or Wednesdays. We didn't know.
No, it was
We didn't know if we had enough
Wednesday or
time.
Friday.
We were going to confirm.
Yeah.
That was going to happen, obviously, over the weekend.
It was Wednesday or Friday, and then you people decided afterwards to move them to Monday, is what you did.
Oh, so if that's true, okay. So what's the problem? We decided to move. Paula was able to get hold of them and had those 3 people available for Monday.
Okay,
You're the one who's been wanting to expedite this thing, so we were
I did want
expediting
to
it.
expedite.
Okay.
Wednesday.
So we wanted to make sure, because
But I
you don't
don't- I
read your
don't wanna get caught
emails.
up calling
You don't read your
commissioners
emails.
at home.
We don't have your cell phone number. Your wife said you don't even open your emails, so we
I
wanted to
open my
make,
emails.
we wanted to make sure that you were aware that there was a meeting scheduled
my
for,
wife wasn't home when you called,
I didn't call.
okay? Thank God, because I would've hung up on you too.
So I don't understand, do you have a question?
My question was, why are we doing 45-minute interviews when we did half hour on the
Oh, maybe it was the schedule of the person coming in for the interview. I don't know.
all 3 of them then?
I don't know.
Okay,
Paula was kind enough to take her time and get these 3 people lined up.
she was getting paid to do
Of
it.
course she was, but she doesn't have to do this, trust me.
Okay,
She's doing it to help us out.
okay.
Yeah, I guess my point is, we all agreed and heard the taxpayers make this motion to hire this person,
To hire what?
A person.
a person, for the administration position. And so it's been, was that 9 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just starting interviews. I'm like, this is running at a glacial pace.
I know, well,
That's what-
this time we got some good candidates, and one of the original ones that we couldn't get hold of is now available, so that's why that 3rd person was added. She was
Yeah.
on that original list. And then one of the other people was a new prospect, which has some good municipal experience as well. So we thought it made sense to create and interview all 3 of those people. And you even said, if we don't get more candidates, let's make Friday the 2nd interview, but we got 3 more good candidates to interview.
Okay.
Okay.
So we didn't want to dismiss anybody out of hand on a technicality that we weren't gonna, we had to make a provision to interview, second interview. So I think it was wise of Paula to have suggested what she did.
Okay. I want to
Okay.
go right to you, Kathy.
Okay,
Mike, you all
nothing.
done? All set, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. Kathy?
Nothing. No, I helped Donna with the water hookup letters, with the mail merge.
Thank you.
thank you.
I think anything else happened between no, I'm all set.
Okay. So under so we get 9 Rhinebeck inspection today at 1. Pond level policy, we already looked that over. Next schedule email.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
It was all in the folder, Mike.
Yeah.
What folder?
That I send out.
Email.
I I opened all the emails last night and spent a good hour and a half going through it, and that was not in that
Okay,
letter.
so when Donna sends her email about the schedule for tomorrow, which would be today, or the agenda, under that, there's
All the
multiple
attachments.
attachments.
I opened them all.
Oh, you
I
did?
did not see Nick Skagel's letter.
I did.
I did.
I did not.
Well, let me see if I,
So, you know how we had made the motion last week to go ahead and approve number 19, Briston Stock for water
Yeah,
hookup
you proved
application?
it, and I voted against it.
Right, prior to getting this information
Right.
from Nick. So now Nick has sent that information, and I believe in his email, he has the number of the addresses wrong, flipped from 19 to,
So he said it was okay.
basically saying it's okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So actually, it was sent to both your commissioner email address and your Purple Finch email
I'm
address.
telling you, I went through.
Mike,
them
it's
last-
right there. The
Okay.
agenda,
All right.
there's the email right there.
It
Audit-
is?
Yeah, right there. Audit, timeline, Barco, the quote on the speed bumps, the drought update, the picnic table issue, the interview schedule. You got the interview schedule, the manifest.
I got I'm telling you, I did not see that one there.
Okay, you didn't see it, but you did get it.
Well, you're telling me I got it, I didn't, I'm telling you I didn't.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
All right. So, under my reports also, I sent an email to Brad Jones. Haven't heard back from Brad yet.
No, neither have I for the
Yeah, contract
contract
6. Okay. We do
Did the
have,
letter go out to the state asking for an extension?
so I had contacted, I think I told you everyone this last week.
This is a yes or no answer, did the letter
No.
go out?
Not a
No.
letter, no. But a conversation did happen. We're trying to find who to send that letter to. We now know the name of our new engineer. And that was discussed briefly, but we'd have to actually have something in writing from a contractor saying, I can't get to that work until this date.
Okay.
Well, I think you can just get that right from the engineer, because he hasn't responded, which he said he was gonna in a week. Back when you initially talked, when we talked to him,
Well,
3 weeks or 4 weeks
So
ago.
the engineer and then the contracting company, once the bids go out, would determine what time frame the contract can start. This is on the Upper Lake repressure.
I guess.
I know exactly what it is.
Okay, so then also we got correspondence from Stephanie,
Let's go.
yes, on the dam
Oh,
emergency.
Hubbard.
From the dam emergency action plan. So that's progressing. That's great.
Okay, so that was, now is she with Wright and Pierce?
She's right, that's
Okay.
correct. And I have not heard back from Tricky Tree, unless the office has.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
So I'm going to try again calling by phone, because maybe the email's not working, so I'm not getting any kickbacks. And if I can't get a hold of Tricky Tree, should I, and I'll ask the board permission to do this, contact the other contractor that quoted on this work?
So can I back up for 1 second?
Yeah.
On the dam emergency plan, what is it that we got back from her? I read her little
Yeah.
comments about water surface and dam levels and spillage.
So this was her proposal. So we had asked for an actual proposal.
Okay, so we received an actual
Yeah,
proposal,
and
okay.
it was from $7,000 to $8,000. It was
Which
the-
we knew that, okay,
Yeah.
proposal received.
You
All
got
right.
that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Received from Wright and Pierce. So,
Okay.
so now, at your water committee meeting, did they talk at all about that, the dam? They're not getting involved in the emergency
No,
plan?
no.
Okay, that's strictly through the engineer, okay.
Yes. So
And
we have,
And we've already voted to allocate that money
Yes.
for them to go ahead, so they're not waiting for anything from us.
just the signed document.
And that's what you're doing right now?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'll make a motion that I sign, or any one of us can sign this.
Makes a motion to
Proposal.
accept proposal from Wright and Pierce to create the dam
The EAP, Emergency Action Plan,
action plan.
for
Okay.
dam number D,
Mhm.
149004.
Okay. Okay. So,
I'll make that motion.
to accept, it's only one
To
person
accept
has to
this
sign,
proposal,
right? Okay.
right.
So I'll second that.
Any discussion? Mike? Okay. We have to get this done by law, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because of the reclassification.
Okay, and vote,
I vote yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. Long time coming.
Yeah.
I just sent it back to her, but
Yes.
Okay. And where does that money come from that, to pay them?
That's coming out of our budget.
Yep.
Okay.
We've got engineering in buildings and grounds and somewhere else. So there's some engineering money in the budget.
So when the
It's like
engineering.
$8,000.
Okay,
There's 6 and 2, I believe.
okay.
We were going to amend the budget for that because it didn't get included, and
Yeah.
we thought we made the decision to not add that and just use it out of the existing funds. So
Okay,
it's a tricky tree. So you're going to give him until, if we don't hear from him by Friday?
Right.
You want to call the other gentleman? Okay. So you're going to make a motion to contact the second bidder on brush cutting.
Jay, on this, like, I can type this up for you with all your corrections?
yeah, that's fine. If you want. Yep, that could be our proposal.
Okay.
Okay. So if we don't hear from him by Monday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to report on was last night, I was tasked to go to the ZBA hearing to oppose a variance request for 26 Hutwell. It's a .2 acre lot. There were variance requests on all sides of this property, and the hearing itself lasted 2 hours and 10 minutes for just that one application alone, and the variance request passed.
What was the number, 26?
26
26, wow.
3 votes to 2, 3 for, 2 against by the board. So that was the result of that. But I think what was more interesting is that this board, Mike, you weren't on the board at the time, back in the, I want to say the February timeframe, we were presented with a application for variance to the Board of Commissioners as a courtesy by the homeowner and the representation for that homeowner, the engineer, the septic designer. Property on Interlaken that is to be developed with a new home. And we had talked about it, and there was some considerations that were made, some modifications based on, again, we're trying to protect the wetlands. So things were done. Unfortunately, what I heard last night, and I could not act on behalf of the board because I was not authorized to do so, but all I could do was listen and tell you today, is that a certified plot plan was required or requested by the ZBA. Since that now was done, some of the boundaries that were once perceived to be in place have now moved. And so distance from one wetland went from 23 feet, which is what we were presented with, and is now down to 13 feet.
That was the one on Interlaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept saying that we had preliminary approved the Hutwile one. I don't remember that at all.
Well, we didn't approve, but we didn't object either.
I don't remember that. Unless I missed one meeting, the
Yeah.
first meeting in May.
But with the Interlaken one, the board approved, the ZBA approved that application request for those variances now with new measurements, which even as of last week were advertised at the post office in the upper and lower portion of this town hall and the newspaper as being setbacks at 23 feet, not 13. So the numbers changed
Significantly.
between the notification and the actual hearing. And so they were warned about that. Do you want to actually go ahead and do this or have another meeting next month? So now I'm asking this board, the construction of this home at this lot location that has some wetlands and is on the middle pond, does this decrease in the protection towards the wetlands concern us enough to appeal the decision?
You know what, Jay?
of the
If they approved that property
0.2 acres.
that was .2 acres, the house is going to be 10 feet from the wetlands. I hate to say it. Why are we even bothering?
No, I hear your concern,
I
obviously.
mean, they were asking for a 60% concession on their setback from the road, a 30% concession on a side boundary, the setback from the wetlands from 50 feet to 10, and they approved it. So,
Yeah.
so I think that it was for us, and again, we have no say in Madison zoning, but they thought it'd be nice if the Edelweiss could at least weigh in on their perspective. If we think it's, if somebody wants to extend their deck 10 feet further out beyond the high water mark, how do we feel about that as a board?
Who's asking for our opinion? Is it the zoning board or the owner?
No, the septic designer. He's saying, I'd like the commissioners to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and if you go in and kind of don't have any objections, that could weigh favorably with the homeowner.
Sure, correct.
That's what he's saying. So there was nobody in favor per se other than the property owner, several objectors, and it's
So it's out of our hands. It's,
I know. Well, no, but
Right.
just saying,
the guy is reaching is what he's doing.
My concern...
reaching.
Yeah, my concern was the comment that was made last night, is that when Edelweiss was developed as a subdivision, before zoning, it was developed that each lot would be buildable. I don't agree with that statement. A plane flew over the area, and they basically took a photograph, and then they drew lines on that photograph, creating one, without even knowing whether the lot was wet.
I don't know about that one, Jay.
But
I don't believe that was how it was done.
But I guess my concern is that they're almost considering, well, it's Edelweiss, that's the size of their lots.
yeah, that's how that was.
And we should not prevent anyone from building on any one of those lots.
Even if they just bought the lot after all the zoning went into place.
Right.
That was my issue.
Right.
If you owned it 50 years ago, and zoning then came into place.
Yeah, it didn't exist
Should
then.
you then have to comply with the new zoning, or should you say, look, when I bought this land in good faith, I was under the assumption I could build my retirement home here.
And you had left already, but one of the ZBA members did comment on your remark and actually added to your concern. And he said, with the woman's concern, that if they bought 50 years ago, and at that time they applied for a building
I was there for
permit.
that. I was there for that.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Then that would certainly take precedence. But in this
Anyway,
case, this was not.
They approved a house on a lot which, if you took the piece of property and did the setback from the road, the two side setbacks, the setback from the wetlands, the buildable area was 30 square feet.
That's two of these tables.
That would if you comply with all the
That's it.
zoning, that's how much variance he wanted to put a house and a driveway in and a septic system. So if they approve that, Jay,
Yeah.
don't waste. I feel badly
Okay, I just
about
wanted to get a feel
saying
for
that,
it.
but I don't think that
I'm sorry, but let's get back to the agenda.
okay. No, and I agree with you, Mike, on that.
All right,
So don't I don't. So whether it's 13 feet,
This is not our fight here.
it isn't, but it does affect our district.
It does, but as a homeowner,
I mean, we can't make the decision, but we thought that our input would have some bearing on the outcome.
it did probably change a couple of votes. There were two against. Anyhow, I'm going to jump down to correspondence, so we have Kevin Ackert.
Yeah,
You read that. He just said he had some ideas
Yeah.
for some activity at the beach.
We have Granite State results from the...
So now, so he did reach out to the district.
Yep.
So are we going to respond to him?
I did say that I would forward it to the board
Right.
commissioners.
Right.
And then,
And I think Kelly was right that any modification or any activity on the beaches have to be DES approved.
Right.
Because he's thinking, if I just kind of, perch this beach a little bit, and prevent the sand from running into the beach, that we might solve some of this problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he's going to propose.
Okay.
So should we just say that any activity on the beaches has to be engineered and presented to DES?
Right, and there are best management practices that...
But is that true? So really, we can't do anything to kind of kind of,
Yep, a plan would have to be presented to DES before we go ahead and do any work.
okay, an engineered plan would have to be presented to DES.
Well, you can also do a PBM.
Okay, so, all right, so a plan has to be submitted to DES? Okay, so leave it at that, okay. Just so that we have the right response back to him.
Okay.
Okay.
So we did the picnic tables that he pointed out, and then there was one other one, which I think was just a concern.
Anthesis, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Granite State.
Granite State results are all good.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to point out, since we're talking about the testing of the water, we had that situation that was called up 2 weeks ago. There was low water pressure at number 22 Bristenstock, which was the new high-pressure water line. They said it's actually lower than it was before. And so I know Ian had sent an email in, they had gone out to the site, and it was some sediment or sand had gotten into the line, the new line.
Our PRV pit, our curb stop valve.
Curb stop valve during that connection, and then got to their PRV where there's a screen inside, and then that was cleaned out and everything's fine. So I want to make sure that when we get Simply Water's bill, that we look for that bit of work that Ian did to
On
clear that line.
22 Bristenstock.
Yeah, we should not be paying, I mean, we're going to have to pay Ian for that.
But it should go to the project.
It should go to the project and come out of Mr. Dawson's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Okay, discussion on variance.
We got the update on the drought from DES, and Neighborhood Energy has given their report, and that's all we got from correspondence, I believe. Anybody have any questions, concerns on the correspondences that came in during the week? Okay, I'm going to go right to public comment. And we see only one in the public. That's you, Dinah. What you got?
Well, I apologize for not being here earlier,
That's fine.
but the audit update, have we gotten it?
Yeah, next week we should be getting a draft.
Okay. That's marvelous. At one point, when you were talking about the new home that's up at Reinhardt there, and the question about the water line, you mentioned, Jay, that Chris Albert was taking pictures throughout the project, and you were going to ask Jones and Beach for those.
We did.
Did we get them?
No.
Are there no pictures?
I'm questioning that now, yeah.
Surprise.
Just on that particular subject, Dinah, there will be an inspection at 1 p.m. today.
About what?
They did excavate that.
We're going to be inspecting the curb stop valve, service line to the house, service link to the curb stop valve, and I want another hole dug to inspect the water main size
I
and
think
depth.
one of the things that might be an issue, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, is I think that home ran their underground electric wires over our knee,
Over the
forced water.
main.
So 10 years from now, somebody's going to get electrocuted if they try to take that.
Yeah, that's a point that Kelly brought up months ago, is that there's new water mains crossing his road, as well as electrical lines, and he needs this on a map. And it's true, he does. And that all needs to come out in Jones and Beach, that certified map that we're going to get with the LiDAR.
Okay. And regarding the old tank and pump house, Ian made it clear he was not responsible for that, and it must be in the contract. Did you find it in the contract?
The demolition of the,
Old pump house and tanks?
yes, there was a question as to what was to be done with the tanks and/or the old pump house. Obviously, the old pump house is going to be dismantled, but the question that I couldn't find detail to was whether they were just going to cut and fill the tanks or remove the tanks completely. And they decided to cut and fill, which was an option.
Was there a cost associated with all of that?
All part of the project, yeah.
Oh, so it's all part of...
Yeah, there's nothing
That,
additional there.
everything.
Yeah, there was nothing additional.
Okay. Nick Skagel and so forth, is that communication regarding the Upper Lakeview PRVs?
Yes, we haven't heard anything back yet from the engineering firm Jones and Beach, who is going to be subcontracting to Nick or Dubois and King to get that exact location of where that second PRV will be going. So we haven't heard anything back on that yet.
Wait a minute now. Jones and Beach, as I understand, is going to be the primary engineer on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick is a sub to them?
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's it, then I really don't have anything else. I apologize for being late.
That's okay.
Oh, no, that's fine.
The drought update, are we out of the drought?
I don't think so.
No, according to the septic designer, last night, Carroll County
We're
is
still
still
in
considered in
Hasn't come
drought.
out yet. The report comes out either today or tomorrow.
So they consider us still in a drought, as of last night.
That's about it then.
So, if there's no other public comment, so if I'm not physically gonna be here Thursday next week, and Mike is not gonna attend until 9 o'clock, then we can't hold a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to make next Thursday's meeting at 9 o'clock.
All right.
So, I'll make a motion to change.
Geez, I said that about a half hour and 45 minutes ago, but that's okay.
So next meeting 9,
Yep,
next week's meeting.
yep.
That's the motion. I'll second the motion.
You can get your beauty sleep there.
To-
Yeah, baby.
I need it.
He needs
I
it.
need everything.
All right. Do we have a, Donna, do you
You and me
second
both.
that? Donna, you second that?
All in favor, say aye.
Seconds.
Aye.
Okay, all right.
Now, could you let Kelly know as well?
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next week is, no, it's not the first of the month. Okay.
No.
No,
Following.
the 29th. Okay.
Motion to say goodbye.
Anything else for anybody? Any new business? Just one other thing, 51 Oak Ridge, that ZBA request was approved.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Not good, but okay.
So tomorrow, what time will you be in the office? For 11:15 or?
Yeah, probably 10:45.
Oh, I'm sorry, tomorrow's
Okay.
Friday.
10:45.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
and if it's all right for me to be there, or do you
Absolutely.
not want me?
Oh, no,
to be
absolutely.
there?
We want you to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make
Because
arrangements.
these are three new candidates.
Okay.
Now, so Paula mentioned about, with the third one, creating a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Does that,
It went out,
you did?
yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
okay.
So we can, we'll go through the office.
Okay.
At 10:45. Okay, so Mike makes a motion to adjourn at 10:45.
Is that a motion, Mike? Yep.
He did. right?
9:45.
9:45. All right.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mike, you stayed the whole meeting.